introduce your boy JDQ with Vision Ivy TV um, news or daily news, however you want to look at it, really. I am taking a different approach as far as lengthening the amount and the length of time that I spend on some of these daily music and entertainment industry news, formerly known as Vevtv Shorts, right? But before we get into the show, extremely fast shout out to William and everyone else who all is in here. I mean, I don't know by name because I can't see the usernames right away, but I see a few people in here. Which in advance, I appreciate you guys. I really am grateful and thankful for anyone who actually takes the time to, spend their time with me on this channel, on these streams. However you want to look at it, I am extremely grateful for the support and love that you guys show me time and time again in every single one of these streams or the videos that I release. I really do appreciate it. So that's a huge shout out to every single one of you guys. There isn't a lot going on per se within like the music and entertainment industry news. There's a few things going on, and we'll get to them in a few minutes. But I want to, tell you guys in advance that the team streams that we used to host here between Kiko and Jay and even my brother would be on here sometimes with me. Those will be soon to return. But in the meantime, I am trying to do my best to stay somewhat consistent and persistent, I guess you could say. I'm doing streams again by myself for the time being. And yeah, before we get right into the show, though, a quick reminder as well. Guys, if you are looking to bless the channel, bless myself, the family, the team, however you want to look at it, there's different ways of doing that. You can go to the JDQ Just Don't Quit merch store and Teespring. You can go to iceclick.com, all right, through a link that I will share in the live chat in a few minutes. And or for the quickest, fastest way to bless this channel, the team, myself, or the family, always PayPal and Cash App is the fastest way to go. So if you ever watch any of the videos, any of the streams, and enjoy it, gets a chuckle out of you, gets a laugh out of you, it informs you in some way, shape, or form. You benefit from it in some way, shape, or form. I'm not saying you have to bless me or the team with this channel, but if you want to do it, there's ways of doing it. So if any one of the moderators right now can share the links to the Cash App, PayPal, and the other options, I will highly appreciate it. The lovely, beautiful Emily Rose, thank you for stopping by. Sweetness, I appreciate you. Anthony, what's going on, Anthony? God bless, man. Of course, UV. Yeah. Thanks for stopping by. Uncanny Valley. I appreciate it. Let me just copy paste the link really quick before I forget, because I will forget. But yeah, like if you enter iceclick.com using the link that I'm going to provide in the live chat in a few seconds, you'll get, I believe, a 10% discount on anything you purchase. And at the same time, your boy here gets an extremely small cut of that purchase. So if y'all will allow me just to paste this real quick for anyone who is interested. So, and the reason why I bring up iceclick.com is because, number one, yes, I am an ambassador for iceclick.com, but even if I weren't an ambassador, I would still highly recommend their store and the website. The jewelry that I wear sometimes myself, some of it is from there, meaning that it's extremely affordable, but it's not cheap. It's high grade, quality, precious metals. and lab created diamonds. So when you buy anything that has cubic zirconias on this precious metal, it was not dealt in any way, shape, or form blood diamond related, which is what I try to avoid, and you should try to avoid as well. Meaning that whatever diamonds or cubic zirconias that are placed on these precious metals, because they're lab made, they're not putting anyone at risk. They're not putting children at risk to get these diamonds. They're not putting anyone in danger to get these diamonds. So it's something you should highly consider. And if you're into jewelry, you should highly look into them. Also, on top of that, we are approaching Mother's Day and then Father's Day. And yeah, I mean, doesn't have to be for yourself. You could get a gift for your moms. You could get a gift for your sister, your cousin, whoever you want to gift a piece of jewelry to. I will always highly recommend iceclick.com, whether I would be paid or not. I think I've even said that even before I became an ambassador for them. But yeah, good quality stuff. I always get compliments on the pieces that I wear that are from them. Everybody always asks where I got it from. So it's something to consider, something to think about. But yeah, that being said, let's get right into it. We have a few things going on within the music industry side of things. I would like to. I'll pull up the tab here, just to for the sake of pulling the tab up and having the information in front of me and you guys as well. But um, it's sad to say that I want to say it's been maybe almost 2 weeks since a really great actor slash musician has been hospitalized, and it sucks because he used to be one of my favorite comedians back when he had his show, and he's an extremely talented artist on the music side of things as well. Of course, if you guys didn't know, I'm going to share the tab right now, this very moment. But of course, then uh, our beloved Jamie Foxx is still in the hospital. Um, I'm going to read the article in a second. I just want to like change the view on the. Here we go. All right, so the title reads Jamie Foxx hospitalized as latest status of actor's condition released. And then it says James hospitalized more than 3 weeks. I was right. After suffering a medical emergency. While Fox's exact condition remains unknown to the public at this time, sources close to the 55-year-old actor echoed this plea per TMZ. Pray for Jamie, a possible indication that things with the actor's health may be more complicated than fans had hoped they would be. His daughter and Beat Shazam co-host DJ Corrine originally announced on April 12th that her father, star of Ray, Just Mercy, The Django Unchained, Disney's animated flick Soul, and countless other blockbuster hits, had experienced a medical complication the day prior. The Hollywood heavyweight was in Georgia, filming Netflix Back in Action alongside Cameron Diaz when the incident occurred. The hugely popular music lyric game show on Fox, which he and his daughter have helmed, was set to go into production just days after he was hospitalized. However, sources with direct knowledge on the matter have now confirmed neither party will be involved in the upcoming season, according to the tabloid. Jamie will not be on the season of Beat Shazam. We're told filming starts today with a new host. We're also told Corrine, who DJs on the show, will not be on as well. She's been a fixture at the hospital in Atlanta by her dad's side, TMZ noted. As Parade previously reported, it was said that although the sleepless star had been hospitalized all this time, he was steadily improving. Luckily, due to quick action and great care, he is already on his way to recovery, Corrine said in her initial statement before asking on behalf of her entire family for privacy during this time. Since the news, former co-stars and famous friends such as Viola Davis, Kerry Washington, Cannon, Martin Lawrence, LeBron James, a slew of others have publicly sent well wishes Fox's way in light of the situation. As requested, we're sending one up for Jamie and keeping our fingers crossed that the award-winning actor makes a full recovery. Yeah, man. It's kind of sucks that we're not really told what the situation is specifically. Um, but apparently, it had to be something serious and delicate and personal, um, to cover up the reasons of why he was hospitalized to begin with. It just sucks because obviously God hears prayers, and obviously God listens to a genuine prayer made from the heart and all that. So it doesn't matter how you word it or phrase it when you're asking God for help and asking God to intervene. However, it's not only my opinion, but it is a known fact that it just helps that much more when you're able to be as specific and detailed on your prayer as possible. Um, you know, my father, he just got out the hospital not too long ago, and he was there for over 2 weeks. And it was a very personal and delicate matter. I think only like maybe like a handful of people knew exactly what was going on and what the situation entailed. But to the people who I did tell or you know did know, they knew to a good extent, maybe not to the T and maybe not to the every detail, but they knew a little bit more specifically what was going on and what the problem was. And I know for a fact that when those people who knew that much information were praying to God about the situation, um, there was more impact and power behind the prayer. So that's why I say it kind of sucks that we're not really allowed to know what specifically the issue is. However, whatever it is, we will be praying for him. We will be praying for his recovery. Again, it sucks because he is one of my favorite, like overall, like comedians in general. Yeah, back when he had the Jimmy Fox show, and when he kind of like started his music career, way back when like Kanye put him onto the scene and all that. He's a great R&B singer. He's a great artist, musician altogether, a great actor. And he's always been a people person from what I've seen and from what I've heard. Um, so shout out to him and prayers for his recovery. Hopefully he gets out of that soon. And yeah, so that's going on with him. And then of course we have a huge milestone for one of my old time favorite female hip hop and rap artists of all time. Back when I used to listen to mainstream and secular rap, which I haven't done in forever. But if I had to go back, I would actually be thrilled to know that this artist right here, of course, none other than Missy Elliott, said to be the first female rapper in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. All right. Uh, Again, I don't follow mainstream secular music anymore, not like I used to. Um, and so this is, in my opinion, for someone who doesn't watch or pay attention or listen to mainstream hip hop and rap, even I have to say this is a huge accomplishment regardless. Let me see if y'all can see. Okay, yeah, y'all can see it. So let's see what the article says. And this, of course, is by glittermagazine.com. Atlantic Records. Hip hop pioneer Missy Elliott is making history as she will be the woman inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Earlier this year, Missy appeared on the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame's list of names for 2023 induction. After voting closed late last month, 7 artists are chosen to join the Rock Hall. Elliott is one of them, making her the first woman rap inductee. This is a landmark change both for the Rock Hall and in Elliott's career. I think there's a few posts here. The first one is hers. From her official Twitter account. She says, "It's times I have gotten online and seen you're irrelevant, you're a flop, you're washed up, and it would crush me at times. But God, you made me strong. I kept going, and you allowed my decades of work to speak for itself. I'm humbled. Thank you all, my supporters. I love you." Um, yeah, man. This induction follows Elliott's first time even appearing as a nominee for the Hall of Fame. To be eligible, artists have released their first tracks at least 25 years prior to nomination. Elliott passed this minimum just a few years ago, with her first album, Super Duper Fly, coming out in 1997. In her decades as an artist, Missy Elliott has established herself and shown her talent. She constantly page keeps scrolling. He constantly overcomes obstacles to success in an industry that prioritizes spotlighting male, white creatives. In doing so, Elliott breaks records, makes history, and is changing the music world. Yeah. With over 10 monthly listeners on Spotify, the love for Missy Elliott and her music isn't going anywhere. The latest of her 6 albums, The Cookbook, was released in 2005. I remember that one. But Elliott stays active, releasing singles and MPs. Her most recent single in collaboration with Skrillex and Mr. Oizo, Ratata, was released this year. It already surpassed 20 million Spotify streams. The official date and venue for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction has yet to be announced, but is set to take place this fall. In the meantime, people are celebrating Elliott's accomplishment and applauding the hard work that got her here. She is truly an inspiration for artists and non-artists alike. Fans are incredibly proud of Elliott and her new milestone. You her, congratulating her. And of course, you got the playlist right there. Yeah, and congrats to her. Really does good. Like if I were to see things from the other side of the coin, and if I were someone who were still a listener of the mainstream stuff, I would for sure say she is worthy of such an accomplishment. She has come a long way. Like she's been doing this like for decades at this point, and doing it and doing it well. But yeah, I'm happy for her. I know it's not really kind of like my place to say because it's again I don't really listen and follow mainstream anymore. But you know you got to give credit where credit is due. She's an extremely talented and creative artist. She, especially if I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong here, but she had a good hand of authority within her music videos, which allowed for those music videos to be like a staple within the hip hop, industry and community altogether, like hip hop rap culture. Um, I mean, come on now, like I'm not gonna name any tracks right now because it's gonna get me like nostalgic and it's gonna make me like have to go back and like bring some of the songs up. Um, but y'all know which ones I'm talking about. Y'all know which ones I'm thinking of. So yeah, that's all that really matters. Yeah, so that's kudos to her and congrats to her. And I have 2 more things that I want to bring up actually. Let me see, just to make sure. Okay, not this. Actually, no, I apologize. I have one more thing to touch on before continuing the show. Um, but it is kind of like, I guess, the main topic ish a little bit. And before I share it, though, I gotta give a quick rebuttal or like warning. So let me just say this real quick, all right? Because I'm gonna share an article in a few seconds or like a minute or two, and then I'm gonna kind of like dig deep a little bit. Um, but I want everyone to understand this. I'm well aware, all right, as an adult, I'm well aware that every person who has children, who has kids, who has, you know what I'm saying, like a daughter or a son, is responsible for that child. Um, I'm not responsible for your child and vice versa. I'm not responsible for, anyone's kids, etc. But, and I say this, it is a huge but, no pun intended. Um, it's nice to be part of a society that looks out for each other, not necessarily take the roles or the responsibility from somebody else, but a simple looking out for each other. You know what I mean? A simple warning of each other, or for each other, left and right. I'll give a good example. I think it was like last year or the year before last year. There was something going on here on YouTube where there was like really disturbing videos that were labeled for kids, but were intimate in nature, right? Or they were like, very overly romantic in nature. And someone caught wind of it, and they, passed the word forward and warned other parents and warned their friends, their families, their neighbors, etc. And eventually, within the following days and weeks and all that, the channels that were uploading that type of content were, and I say eventually with like a grain of salt because it took forever, in my opinion. But yeah, it got taken down. They got eradicated. The channels got pretty much canceled, if you will. And the accounts that were uploading that type of content, as far as I know, I hope I'm right because, and I hope I'm not wrong here. They have stopped producing said content. So what I'm gonna bring up right now is a topic that, again, I'm aware that I'm not in control of your kids. I'm not in control of your children. It's not my job. It's not my duty. It's not my responsibility to tell you how you should raise your kids. However, this is a word of caution, and from one friendly quote unquote neighbor, right, or fellow man. I'm just going to bring up this topic because I think it has the potential. Okay, and let me try to be as crystal clear. What I'm going to bring it up, it's not an automatic like guarantee that it will hurt your children. It's not a guarantee that it'll affect your children or your kids. But it has a strong possibility of affecting them in some way, shape, or form. Why? Well, because sadly, there's a lot of parents that don't care too much, like what they play, or like as far as like music and TV shows and all that goes. They're not as careful as they should be because they think that the kid doesn't understand, so they're not gonna like really mimic it, or if they do mimic it, they think it's cute, they think it's adorable, they think it's funny, etc., right? But what they don't understand is that children and kids and all this, they're like sponges in every sense of the word, uh, when it comes to like mentally, emotionally, physically. These are all things that, where a child and a kid absorbs, whether they know or they don't know, whether they're aware or not aware, whether it be subconsciously or consciously. They do absorb some of the ideals or ideology of some of the things that they see and listen to. So That being said, all right, that being said, I'm going to bring up the article here. But again, keep everything that I just said right now in mind, okay? Because I don't want people saying, oh, like, why are you like talking about that topic? Let that person do whatever they want. They're their own person. Why don't you talk about something else? Why don't you talk about something more important? I can already see the comments, or I can see and hear people saying all this like after the fact. But again, if it has even a minimum potential of affecting children or kids or the youth in general, like I will bring it up because that's part of the duty and responsibility from me as a host on this channel. You know what I mean? I might not be able to tell you how to like raise your kids, but I do have the feel the duty to inform you and to warn you of potential dangers for your teenagers, your young adults, your kids, your children, etc. All right, along the music industry world. So now let's look at this. This is by Vibe.com, and the title of the article or the headline is "Young Miami reveals she's bisexual and wants to Megan the Stallion." Again, this is I'm not sharing this as gossip. I'm not sharing this as like, oh, you know what I'm saying? Like, ooh, look what she's saying. Like she wanna I'm not taking it as gossip and I'm not sharing it as gossip. I'm sharing it as a potential danger to kids or young people that listen to her, observe her, follow or try to follow in her footsteps, or try to mimic her, or try to have her as some type of like someone to look up to, which they really shouldn't. But that's the thing, is that you have teenagers, you have young adults, you have kids looking up to people like this, and that's where I have to be like, hey, real quick, this is not good. If your kids are like looking up to these artists and all that, be aware that this artist is not on a good route. But let's go on to this topic per se. It says young Miami recently opened up to Jason Lee about her sexuality and who she lusts after. The city girl revealed that she's indeed bisexual and wouldn't mind letting rapper Megan Thee Stallion smash. During a rapid questions game of Smash or Pass, the Hollywood Unlocked creator brought up the Big Ol' Freak rapper's name, to which Miami responded, "I'm gonna smash all day and tomorrow. She really can't like take me up and throw down." Although the 29-year-old has a thing for women, she did admit she couldn't see herself being romantically involved with one beyond the bedroom. Sexually, I've been with a woman before. I love it. The Act Up rhymer said before revealing that she identifies as bisexual. Yeah, I always say that. I do like girls. I don't want to be in a relationship with a girl. Blah blah blah. There goes a video. Has expressed her fondness for the hot girl captain before. Doing an episode of her own podcast, Carisha Please, last year. Miami joined Meg for a conversation in which she shot her shot at Traum- Traumazine Rapstress. Ah, man, I feel like I'm getting old little by little here. Uh, she says, I mean, I like what I like. I like you. Megan said when she asked if she liked girls. Miami immediately responded with, you do. And then she said, she asked the question. And then Megan says, Megan then let her know that if it ever did go down, that she'd be on top. So, yeah. Let me read that line real quick. Miami then said in the episode, the only type of porn that turns me on is girl on girl. And that's how I always knew I was, or I was bisexual. I feel like we know how to please each other. Yeah. So, anyways, yeah. If I was a parent and I knew that my teenager, my young adult, my kid, looked up to, listened to, and or even was entertained by this person, I would be extremely careful and extremely, uh, maybe not like straight, like, hey, never again. But I would, at the very least, like keep an eye on my young ones if they were listening to someone like this, because some one of the topics that we talk about on this channel is how, and I've talked about it many times before on other streams, the power and influence that a lot of these artists, a lot of these singers, these actors, the influence that they have on our young ones. And again, it ranges anywhere between young adults, teens, uh, preteens, kids, children, um, any younger or minor person that is seduced by the music of, or the shows of, or the movies of, or whatever it may be, from these celebrities and these artists, right? And it's a very, very delicate, dangerous thing, because like it's got to be some type of balance to where you are allowing your kid and your young one to, sure, you know um kind of like listen to what they like, while at the same time being extremely careful and caring of, who are they looking up to, like what beliefs are the people that they're looking up to having, what kind of things, uh, what kind of mindset is the person that my son, daughter, or whoever it is looking up to, what ideologies, what kind of mindset do they share, and try to pretty much, um, yeah, like, I don't want to say impose, but yeah, in a way it is imposing, because with that type of like leverage and that type of like um, power that they have of influence, it would kind of be imposing their worldview on our kids. And this is one way of doing it. You know what I mean? Like, she knows, and this is the crazy part, is she knows that technically her audience is, should be, and is a more mature audience, but she's well aware, along with a lot of these other artists, a lot of these other singers, that the range really doesn't exist, because the same way you have someone that's 25, 29 years old listening to her music, uh, and that same time lapse where that 25-year-old is listening to her music in the kitchen while she's cooking, that 25-year-old has like a 5 or 6-year-old who, guess what, is also listening to the music, listening to the lyrics, maybe not understanding it to the full extent, but it's being recorded subconsciously in their mind. And then of course you have the music videos that play a bigger role on the minors, brain activity. And it just, it's a very sneaky way to mold the coming generation, the new wave generation. And yeah, man, it's just something to look out for. It's nothing new, per se. This has been going on for like, maybe like decades, as far as like celebrities and singers and artists, not only having influence, but um, actually being able to pass on their influence on their fans and on people that follow them and look up to them. So, I mean, take it how you want. If you want to take the advice, cool. That's great. If you don't, and you're like, oh, I think you're exaggerating, JDQ. I think you're going over the top about this. I think um, you're being extra with all this. Hey, that's your opinion, and I will respect that. Um, it doesn't stop it from being true. It doesn't stop it from being a possibility, and it doesn't stop the potential that it has. So, um, you know, to each their own. And again, I don't have any responsibility over your children, nor do I pretend to. However, as a good fellow man that I am, I try to just spread the word of caution, and hopefully it gets passed on forward. But anyways, yeah, Exactly. Uh, William says that's why they got drag men in schools to get kids used to stuff like that, so it becomes normal. Exactly. And again, what easier and better way to pass on a type of mentality than through someone's favorite singer, someone's favorite rapper, someone's favorite artist, right? Um, it's listen, it's a shame, man. It really is a shame because people take it lightly. A lot of people take it lightly because they to them as adults they're like, oh, it's just a song. Oh, it's just a music video. Oh, it's just lyrics. Oh, it's just a chorus. It's just a hook. It's just this. It's just that. They do not know the power and the extent of the influence that a song, a melody, a chorus, a hook, a music video have on the psyche of an individual, and even more so on a minor. Um, they refuse to admit it. People refuse to admit that music and music videos and all this have that type of power. But if we were to go through the decades of entertainment and music and all that, you can see the effect that music overall, artists, musicians, songwriters, actors, actresses have played a huge role in the landscaping of a new mindset throughout the generations. You could see it like over time. A big one was like the Beatles. Like if listen, man, if I really had the time to talk about that whole side topic, which bands changed their generation and not necessarily for the better, we could be here like a day or two straight, because that's how it always is. And the crazy part is that before, at least they tried to kind of like masquerade it at the beginning, where like, oh, it's an innocent band, oh, it's a peaceful band, oh, it's a loving band, this and that. But then gradually, as time moved forward, they became edgy or they became radical and they became this and that. And the people that followed along with them, you know, it just so happens that they too started becoming edgy or started becoming radical along with their favorite artist and singer and songwriter and actor and actress. It just by pure coincidence, it just, like, as someone that I know would say, a mass hysteria type of situation where because their favorite artist or singer, believed in what they believed in, like, oh, okay, that sounds about right. That sounds cool. Like I get it, and they get on the train as well, along with the mindset, along with the type of worldview that is being projected onto them, etc. Um, William says all this puts people off having kids. Yeah. Um, who wants governments telling you no rights to teach your kids anything as you're not a teacher? Seeing them say it last year, crazy. Pull kids out of schools. I'm a huge believer, and this is just my personal opinion. You don't have to think the way I do. You don't have to accept my opinion. You don't have to receive it. But I do ask for you to respect it because I respect everyone's opinion, right? But in my personal opinion, um, homeschooling is going to be the route that I take with, if and whenever I do have children, that's the route I'm going to take. I'm sorry, but I'm not going to expose my children to the same brainwashing that I had gone through when I was in school. That's just not going to happen with my kids. It's just not going to happen. Are they going to have a regular social life? Yes. Like, people misunderstand and think that just because someone is homeschooled, they become like weird with like individuals or like strangers or like people like outside the nucleus. Not true. Like my nieces, homeschooled, and they're, I'd even dare say that they're more normal than me. I'll even put it that way. So people need to stop acting like it's weird to do that. Um, Obviously, if you do it correctly and if you do it well balanced, the child not only are they going to be normal, but they're going to be like better contributors to society because of that type of upbringing. Um, Emily says, always good to be aware of whose music your kids are listening to because their behaviors within music videos influences young minds quite easily. Correct. That is correct and hit the nail on the head. I mean, I'll put it to you this way, man. Um, so when I was growing up, and around the time that I slowly started listening to like rap and hip hop music. We're talking about mid late '90s, early 2000s. But I was heavily influenced by the rap and hip hop culture on the mainstream. Um, I listened to anyone and everyone from Eminem to Nelly to Ludacris to P Diddy to Lil Jon and the East Side Boys to just anyone you can think of from mid late '90s. DMX, Nas. The list goes on and on. Y'all know who I'm talking about. They had a huge impact in my life in my early years, and not necessarily in the best way. Um, it was an interesting time for me. It was I was believing something that I shouldn't have believed, and I was acting a certain way that I shouldn't have acted. But because of um, what I was listening to at the time, what I was watching at the time, it just kind of like it warped me in some way, shape, or form. Um, However, on the other side of the coin, um, when I kind of like at the time committed my life to Christ and uh, got baptized and found that there is a better way, that there's people out there who have similar, if not better, talent as these artists in the world in the mainstream, yet they only, sing about like God, or they sing about serious topics in a positive light, or try to bring really tough matters with a light at the end of the tunnel type of feel to their music. Um, I kind of like I when I found that I was like, yo, this is crazy. These people, these singers, these rappers, these writers, they sound extremely similar, if not better, than what I used to listen to. And their message is positive. Their message is uplifting. Their message is insightful. The lyrics, the chorus, the hooks, everything. Not only does it just sound better, but it it gives me actual legitimate joy and happiness and peace to like listen to uh that side of things. Like I could go on about like the list of who I used to listen to, and who I still listen to nowadays. And I brought this up about a month ago. I was going through some of the Christian rap artists that I used to listen to or still listen to altogether, um, who have made a huge impact in my life. And um, I don't regret it. I do not regret, not one shred, not one iota. Like I would never go back to mainstream music at all. After I found like what I found, there's no point in going back. William says, I was taught at house home. Most Irish people were all pulled out of public schools. The parents taught them, and social workers came out twice a year to test us that we were learning okay. Yeah, and that's fine. Like, I'm okay with that because, there's got to be some type of like track record of making sure that, um, they are being taught something. But even that, I think that even that is unnecessary to an extent. You know what I mean? Like it's good, but it's I don't, and not in my opinion. I don't think it's like completely necessary to have someone like verify that that they're being taught efficiently. Because the thing is that social worker can say, oh, have you been teaching them about this topic or that topic? Um, and it might be taken as a route of like um, trying to legally put some type of like action over the parents for not teaching the kids a certain topic or matter. But I mean, yeah, I guess to some extent it's kind of okay. I don't know. That's another topic altogether, I guess. I have a few more minutes in my slot. Uh, oh, actually, hold on. I almost forgot. Emily says, I feel bad for my future kids because I suck at math. We both gonna cry and learn. That makes two of us. I'm not the greatest at math. And funny enough, I'm pretty good at geometry, but I'm not good at math per se. So we're on that same boat. That's right. William says, my mom only had social workers twice. Then we lived in caravan ever since we became ghost kids, they called it. Oh, man, you lucky son of a gun. I'm kind of jealous, not going to lie. There's a few things that I do want to touch on, and I'm going to. Mm, how am I going to do this, man? This sucks so bad. I'm going to attempt to review some new music that just came out these past few days. I've heard some of it. Um, the other few songs or whatever I haven't seen or heard them yet, so it's kind of like okay. So I'm going to make an attempt at reviewing and doing commentary on these new songs and these new music videos and all that. So bear with me because, yeah, man, like YouTube and Google are extreme. They're like hyper, super duper, mega, ultra strict about like the whole copyright thing. Even if it is fair use for me to like like review it and react to it and do commentary on it. I could list all the things that I that I do on the actual song or video that I'm like reacting to or reviewing, and they'll still find it illegal or as a strike. Let me see if I can. Okay, just bear with me. Okay, I'm gonna press pause on it. I'm gonna expand the view. All right, I'm gonna rewind it. I'm gonna wait for it to load a little bit. Um, that way when I hit like play or whatever, like bear with me guys. I apologize that the speed is garbage. Okay, I think that's good enough. All right. My stepdad had other plans for me and my bros. We worked as boys from 10 years old. Talk about slave laws. It was heavy work, building homes, etc. for work. These days, straight child abuse in malls. Yeah. All right. So this is one of the songs that I wanted to share. Huge respect for her and her voice. But I'm not. I'm a little, and I should have messaged her too because or commented on it. Sorry. Uh, I wasn't disappointed, but I was confused because I remember hearing like a sample or like a preview of the song a few months back, and it sounded like with a different style. So this one, you guys will see. Yeah, I had understood that it was going to be straight up like a different genre, but when I listened to it, it ended up being like a different genre, which I'm not mad about. Like I'm not upset about. It still sounds great. It just threw me off because I had heard it a certain different genre like before. But yeah, I'm gonna hit play for a few seconds, then pause it, and play it again. Pause it, play it again. That way, hopefully, the algorithm doesn't pick up on it so easily, and hopefully, I don't get a strike for it because that's what I've been experiencing is just strikes left and right for reacting or reviewing music, which is kind of the point of this channel, sort of. So yeah, go figure. Here we go. This is Bianca the Grace this. And yes, it is in Spanish, so bear with me. The heck? Okay, that's weird. Pause it for a few seconds, and here we go. Okay, so as you can see, if y'all are listening closely, right? You can already hear the drums like slowly building up in this intro, and I'm pretty sure, especially for those of you who know about music, you can already expect what's going to happen next. But yeah, this is where I was thrown off because yeah, I'm gonna try to find the preview of what I had heard months ago, how this song was like meant to like be, and how it ended up being here. Let's hit play again. God, yo. All right, so y'all can see how the beat changed into like a reggaeton beat, right? Now I was having this conversation with my sister last night, I think, or yesterday. Um, we were going back and forth talking about the song because I was showing it to my sister, and my sister made a good point. Um, and I know what she was. I know what she meant with what she said. Um, so she was saying that like Bianca's voice is a beautiful voice. It's a great voice, but um, my sister feels that her voice would fit better in another type of like genre. Um, or not so much a genre per se, because I mean genres are interchangeable. But I guess the type of music topically that she is like making maybe doesn't suit her voice all the way. So let me explain, because I know some of you are already scratching your heads like, what do you mean? What are you talking about? Like, what does that even mean? All right, so um, Bianca's voice It's a very, it's a sweet voice. It's a mesmerizing voice. It's a hypnotic voice. And a lot of people would consider it to even be sound, not on purpose, but they might hear it as something like, hmm, romantic. I'll just leave it at that. It sounds like in a romantic voice, right? Um, and like she was saying, like my sister was saying, like her voice, because it sounds romantic, it would suit her better to make legitimate romantic music. And to which I agree that she could definitely take that route if she were to want to do something different at some point, just to like try something different. I'm sure she would do great on and doing it that way, right? A romantic type of album. I could see that completely working for her. But it doesn't take away that, in my personal opinion, a voice like that shouldn't be, what's the word? It shouldn't be boxed. You know what I mean? And geared towards like just one specific type of music. I think she's doing great in the song, by the way. It's a very hypnotic song. I want to say her standalone songs are always hypnotic. Um, sure, the mixing has a lot to do with that, and of course the plugins and effects that are used to amplify her natural voice have a good amount to do with that. But in general, her voice naturally does have that type of like hypnotic, mesmerizing touch. So I think it's good and smart to have her also do these types of songs, because it's like there's a song for everything, and there's music for all sorts of different activities. There's people who play a certain type of music or song while they're washing their car, people who listen to a specific song type while they're cleaning the kitchen, etc. Um, her songs as a standalone artist, to me, I would probably use them potentially like to pray. Like I could put this in the background, and I could wholeheartedly say I could pray with that music playing in the background, because it's a type of song and a type of vibe where it's like a peaceful vibe. It's like a meditative vibe. So like, not necessarily just because her voice sounds romantic, doesn't necessarily mean that it should be caged or boxed towards one specific um, audience. You know what I mean? So let's keep listening to the track.
En mi más de timidio, que si le trae, lleno de temor y estrés. En medio del proceso, sin ti yo no aguanto todo esto. Todos los del mundo están opuestos. Si entendieran que solo a tu lado, por supuesto. La única de vivir por todo esto.
I'm gonna pause for a few seconds, just for the sake of protecting myself. And
solo a ti voy, segura en ti estoy. Sé quién yo soy, nadie podrá separarme. Incomparable. Si te busco, tú respondes. Nunca llegas tarde. La verdad que el diablo solo quiere matarte. Mucha gente que la paga.
And by the way, for those of you asking yourselves, like, what she's saying, the general sense or the essence of the song, or the takeaway from the song, is basically, God always answers when you reach out to Him. Um, that's like the main thing to take away. It's part of the chorus. It's part of like the intro of the song. There's other like minor subtopics that she touches on, but for the most part, the main takeaway is, um, yeah, like, if God always answers and reaches back when we make the effort of reaching out to Him, of looking for Him, searching for Him. which is true. It's true to the T. I've never known that to not be true, in my personal experience. And yeah, let's see if we can finish it.
Y todo eso solo quiero verte, pero déjame hablarte a quién es el que tengo a mi lado. Nunca me dejas sola, always going down. Ninguna alma fuerte contra mí prosperará. Y te busco, tú respondes. Te busco, y te busco, tú respondes.
I thought it was a beautiful song. I think it's a great song. Definitely does deserve a lot more views here on YouTube. I haven't checked how well it's doing on Spotify or Apple Music. I'm sure it's doing great. Matter of fact, let's do a quick. You know what, man? Here, let's look it on the computer because I was gonna check it on my phone, but we're gonna look it up on the computer. Let's see how well it's doing over there. A lot of these songs and singles and all that, like, oh man, my my people, and when I say my people, I mean, like, like Christian, like rap artists and all that, do so much more of a better job when actually putting an actual song together. That it really does bother me when I see that it's not blowing up how it should, and that just tells you how manipulated the music industry is. Um, let's see if I can't find her. Haha, found you. All right, let's see what Spotify says. Uh, mm, Wait a second. How do you? I wonder. Like, Hmm. Do we even know if we're? I guess not. It's weird. It's here. I found it, but um, maybe it's because I'm not logged in. I'm gonna, I guess, do a quick signing up of the account for my Vision Eye TV account. Or maybe I wonder if I could do it through here. It'll be great if I could just log in through Facebook. Well, that would be great. Oh, what? Come on, man. Lord help me. All right, I'm gonna have to sign up. Sucks dog. No. Hmm. It's fairly quick to do. It's just because I was already logged into my Facebook account. Yeah, I was. Okay. What was I gonna say? It's Oh, by the way, I know it's because of the platform difference and all that, but on Spotify, it sounds way better. Like the quality of the song in Spotify, just sounds a lot better. Um, so that, I mean, yeah, that's a huge difference right there. But anyways, I'm trying to find out if I can actually see the amount of times this has been played, but I just can't. I can't find that. I can't. I find that information, and I don't know if it's something that I have to kind of like do on my end or what. Um, but it's weird because I thought it was something that it would like just show up. Now, I'm not saying automatically, obviously, but hmm, maybe I'm doing something wrong. Maybe it's just weird. I don't know. If y'all know how to look that up, let me know. Well, hold on. What if I Oh, okay. Interesting. So I go here. Oh, there it is. Okay, okay. Come on, Jorge, get with the times, man. Uh, so I found it. I found. Okay, cool. So yeah, it's not wanting to play it. See this? So annoying. It has all the numbers of all the other tracks except for that one. Let me show y'all real quick what I'm seeing. Oh no, but interesting. DuckDuckGo, huh?
Llena completo mi ser sin merecerlo. Cada vez tú me sorprendes, siempre me comprendes. Que me siento sola, tú me interesas que todo temores que quieren que el ti no me hace y siga con los errores. No permitas que yo cargue.
Yeah, so it's like the only song that it doesn't have a number to. But I guess it's because it's like brand new. So maybe it takes like a few days or like a week or two to refresh and kind of like see do like an actual count. I guess I don't know. Maybe that's why. There is another song. What up, my life? Blessings and love to you as well. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. I'm going to pull up the other artist that I want to share with you guys that just released a song not too long ago as well. I think. Let me see. Oh, you know what? Oh, if I can. Yeah, I'm just look for her right here. There we go. Okay, there you are. Yeah, I guess that's common for like if it's a brand new song, they just don't put the numbers right away. But I'm gonna react to the song that I'm gonna play right now because I have not heard it yet. So um, all right, and this is gonna be the last one that I share before tonight ends, like the show of tonight ends, because I ate earlier, but I'm still extremely hungry. Sorry, not sorry. This is by Dessa. What? Come on, girl. People are weird, yo. I would have already, if I could help, I would help this being like double, triple times because this is another great voice that I really do enjoy a lot. Um, I believe she's Dominican, but she's off the chain. Let's hear it.
Par de falso colado, pero no me arrepiento. A los judas hay que tenerlo al lado. Lo que meten el pie pero terminan ahorcados. No me digas te quiero, yo sé que es mentira. Que no tiene odio pero contrapira. Porque vuelo de más cuando tú dices que me admira. Ey, a todo el que me quería ver quitar. Todavía no se me detiene el pulso. El doble acotado para robarme el gozo. Le dije palomo cuando te puso. Yo quiero
I will say right off the get go, I don't know if it's me. I hope it's me. Or maybe it's the latency of like the computer or what. But it, oh man, it feels like it's like slightly just that much, like that microscopically just off tempo or off beats. But I'm going to continue to listen to it because it just be me. Sometimes I anticipate stuff, so maybe yeah, let's try it.
quería ver quitar. Todavía no se me detiene el pulso. El doble acotado para robarme el gozo. Le dije palomo cuando te puso. Yo quiero correr la milla de más. Yo sé que si la corro voy de abuso. Porque amar a quien me ama nomás. Vuelve a mi bacanería un recluso. Y sabemos lo tuyo. Que tú no eres real, que para ti es normal que te gane el orgullo. Gracias a Dios no hay nada personal, pero sabemos lo que como quiera te llevo. Más la tuya y te llevo. Bien de lejos, pero así te llevo. Y es que sabemos lo tuyo. Que tú no eres real, que para ti es normal que te gane el orgullo. Gracias a Dios no hay nada personal, pero sabemos lo tuyo. Y como quiera te llevo. Más la tuya y te llevo. Bien de lejos, pero así te llevo. Y es que sabes eso al mío. Fue que aprendí, War the Blood, que el que es real no puede ser lambón. Corazón limpio no lo hace el jabón. Fácil de influencia, por default. Doble moral, hablador, pero Dios me libre. Quiero un corazón como el tuyo, señor.
So yeah, no. When she, I guess, like gets into like the hook of the chorus of the song, the timing is, in my opinion, perfect from that point forward. But it's just like I don't know. I have to keep listening to the song. Maybe there is something purposely done, just slightly like counter tempo, I guess. But it was by design and on purpose. But yeah, definitely when the hook comes along, it just kind of like it lands like perfectly on the beat. Um, Great flow so far. Like I have, yeah, that is so far so good for sure.
Quiere la capa, la voy a dejar. No retrasaré lo que se aproxima. Quiero hacer lo que Dios diga sin queja. Te bendeciré lo que voy para encima. Lo que se avecina, pila de bendiciones se avecinan. Se siente bien que con tu y tu mala fe tú me estás lanzando pero a la cima. Sabemos lo tuyo, que tú no eres real, que para ti es normal que te gane el orgullo. Gracias a Dios no hay nada personal, pero sabemos lo tuyo. Y como quiera te llevo. Más la tuya y te llevo. Bien de lejos, pero así te llevo. Y es que sabemos lo tuyo. Que tú no eres real, que para ti es normal que te gane el orgullo. Gracias a Dios no hay nada personal, pero sabemos lo tuyo. Y como quiera te llevo. Más la tuya y te llevo. Bien de lejos, pero así te llevo. Y es que sabemos todo. Lo sabemos todo. Lo sabemos todo. Ya, Dexa, Laurel, Canelo, bro.
Yeah, man. That other song that was just starting off right there, it already had that sense of like aggressiveness to it. But this one that I just played before, this one, good stuff, man. Like really, really good stuff. I could listen to that all day in the car. But yeah, that will conclude tonight's show per se. Just do this real quick. I did add the link to the iceclick.com website store or store website. I apologize. Again, it doesn't. You don't have to go in there to buy something for yourself. You could go to that site and find something for Mother's Day, right? Your mom's, your sister, a friend. I don't know, your niece, cousin, whatever. Like, um, just visit the shop, right? Visit the website. It's affordable items. Like that's the thing is affordable grade, like high grade, high quality jewelry at an affordable price, and it's lab made, so you don't have to feel guilty because it came from like somewhere where they put kids in danger. It's non blood diamond related. All right, so you can buy it with no guilt. You know what I'm saying? And pay just an affordable price for a great piece of jewelry. Again, it didn't have to be for yourself. I mean, cool. If you want to get something there for yourself, hey, even better. More power to you if you can. But I'm just saying it's an option for those of you who are wanting to like get something for your moms or for someone on Mother's Day. It's a great place to buy a fine piece of jewelry. And if you use the link that I provided in the live chat, you get a 10% discount, I believe. And I get a microscopic cut of that purchase. So keep that in mind. Of course, as always, the JDQ Just Don't Quit merch store is still up and running. Um, I do have to make some changes to it, but it is nonetheless up and running. Y'all know what the brand is about. Y'all know what I believe in. Y'all know what I fight for when it comes to self-esteem and all that. I love speaking about a healthy self-esteem because when I was younger, I did not have the greatest self-esteem. I had to build it up as time went, almost all by myself. I had some help along the way, but it was a long journey. And nowadays, I am, confident in myself. I love myself, not in a negative tone, but I love myself in the sense of like me respecting myself and me knowing that I am worth something, right? Anyways, that being said, guys, the other links, if you guys want to bless the channel, the team, myself, or the family, is the PayPal and Cash App links. If there's any more moderators left in the live chat, if y'all can paste the links in the live chat, I'll appreciate it. Um, but yeah, for those of you who stopped by for a few seconds, a few minutes, or throughout the entirety of the stream, I appreciate it. We covered a few things that I normally would cover in Vevtv shorts, but we did it live, so that was different. I enjoyed it, of course, and yeah, I'm grateful and thankful for you guys. Thanks for being here. Stay blessed, stay safe, and as always, this is JDQ with Vision IBTV, and until next time, peace out.